Hunter Yoder. 5th, Max Miller. 2nd place, Preston Kilroy. And your winner was number 93, Mason Gonzalez. Getting close to the end of the day. And we race around the first turn with our 250B Limited class. Holy cow, some riders off the side of the track have to work their way around the hay bales. Hey, everybody back up and underway. And the whole shot goes to the number 80 of Preston Kilroy, Jonah Geisler, with a 2nd place start. How about that? Greg Geisler, your boy's in the mix. The number 25 Rides Unlimited of Jonah Geisler takes over the point. Oh, look at this. Jonah Geisler leading this thing. Triples in. He's got Preston Kilroy right there. Jonah trains down with Timmy Ferry. Good for you, man. Jonah will live to live another day in the Rides Unlimited team. Dad hadn't kicked him off yet. Kilroy trying to get around him on the outside. This is an all-time moto for Jonah Geisler. The big, tall, lanky center for the Rides Unlimited team. Look out. Kilroy lands, touches down right beside Jonah Geisler in the all-white confident gear. You got to be pretty confident in your starting ability if you're going to run the all-white setup. And Jonah Geisler feeling it. Can he get credit for leading one complete lap? Preston Kilroy is going to be really tough to keep behind him. And Jonah Geisler on his way on the Rides Unlimited BTO 7MX team. Got the Monster Energy ride, and Jonah Geisler will get credit for leading a lap at Loretta Lynn's. Greg Geisler is a nervous wreck down there. And it is business time. They have put a lot of work in, man. I know how much time they spend going back and forth from Illinois to Florida. And Geisler under the attack of Kilroy. Kessler is 3rd. Gonzalez 4th. Hunter Yoder 5th. Stephen Hooker 6th. Otto Burton 7th. Max Miller 8th. So about a lap and a half into this, Preston Kilroy makes the pass on the Rides Unlimited BTO 7MX ride of Jonah Geisler. And Kilroy trying to set sail on the Bar X Suzuki. Kilroy had a great ride earlier in the day. And he is definitely backing it up. And Mason Gonzalez, your first moto winner now, checking in the number 3 spot. All the players are here. Kessler in the number 4 spot. A little bit of battling going on behind Geisler. Here comes a whole slew of riders right behind Kilroy. He is starting to gap Jonah Geisler, trying to control that inside line, but here comes Gonzalez and Chase Kessler. So Geisler holding on to that number 2 spot, but Mason Gonzalez, your first moto winner, is coming, folks. And he will slip past.
Battle is on right now. Hunter Yoder trying to make tracks toward the front. He's battling it out with Geisler, who's putting in a career ride right now. Geisler doing a great job, but to the inside is Yoder. Let's see if Geisler can hold him off. They almost came wheel to wheel. Yoder able to thread that needle and move into second place. But Preston Kilroy, who has been a sensation this week, is up front. And the Suzuki RM Army has to be happy about that. So that was hilarious. We were just watching. This gives you an idea of the importance of this race. Ken Roxon himself watching today on RacerTV.com, and then he did his own impression of Jet Lawrence's Australian accent on the podium from earlier today. So it's awesome to hear that Kenny watching the racing back at home and had to be thrilled just like everyone else was watching that Pro Sport Moto. They were pretty darn spectacular, and everybody's got to be impressed with this. Preston Kilroy putting the kill on everyone in B classes this week. Led for a while and then threw it away. Got beat by Jarrett Fry earlier, but he is way out front here in 250B Limited. And Mason Gonzalez, Hunter Yoder, Jonah Geisler, we saw that battle. Yoder now taking the third place position away with Gonzalez second. Jace Kessler fifth, Max Miller sixth, Stephen Hooker seventh, Jackson Gray eighth, Garrett Hoffman ninth, Bryce Hansen. That is your top 10. Kevin already gave you the rundown, I would presume. Gonzalez won the first moto, running second right now. So Kilroy's got to win this one, and he could be looking at a tie going into the third moto. Or can Gonzalez try to close the gap? He was essentially the exact same on lap times right now. That's who you're watching on your screen, the 93, Mason Gonzalez on the Yamaha. There's the leader. There's 4 seconds between them. Can Kilroy keep this pace up? Takes a brief look over, try to see who's in second and how much gap he has.
Man, he had such a good moto earlier in the day. Kind of surprised everybody with that moto win. Kilroy challenging, coming back and backing it up with another good moto, a 153.7. Kilroy, Gonzalez, Hunter Yoder has come through to the number 3 spot. He is charged from outside the top 5. Geisler still 4th. Kessler, Max Miller, Stephen Hooker, and the 77 of Jackson Gray, one of my friends out of Georgia, riding for Blood Money, the team Blood Money, CBD team.
I saw that. They got quite a few businesses.
Yes, about 14 guys on the team.
Yep.
Looking to have an even 30.
They got a lot going on over there.
Whittled down to the 53-man roster before the cutoff.
Before the cutoff. Practice squad. You could stay on the practice squad.
Yeah, you could be. Go get him, Jackson Gray.
Look at this. Geisler has not let Hunter Yoder go. They go around the billboard turn, and he is still right there. So Yoder tracked him down, made the pass, but Geisler ramping it back up. Easy to pick out with that all white. Oh. Look at this. He's trying to make the pass.
I like it. That is Max Miller. He's doing good, too, though.
My bad. Same gear.
Same gear, same color. Bike.
Same color.
The whole
Max
deal.
Miller. Miller is on a rail right now. Miller just goes right around Yoder. What a run. So yes, we replaced one KTM with the white gear, 7 with another KTM with the white gear, 7 gear. It's Max Miller. He has gotten around Yoder. Miller, it's going to be tough. He's got 6 seconds to make up on your leader that you're watching right now, Preston Kilroy. Kilroy and Gonzalez matching each other. Gonzalez made up 4 tenths that last time around.
Still about the halfway point, so there is time. Any kind of a mistake by your leader, and it's game on for Mason Gonzalez.
Yeah, you got to wonder, what do you put on the board for the number 80 at Kilroy? Do you want him to know that someone's coming, or would you rather him just be able to ride his own pace?
I think you have to assume that if you let up, there's always going to be somebody coming after you.
Yeah, right? So why tell him?
Just go. Just go, 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 go.
You know what to do.
P1 plus 4. That's all he needs to know. Plus 3. When it starts shrinking, he knows what's happening.
Look at those bumps, man. That reminds me of watching like Baja 1000 coverage where they're just bombing through these super nasty trails. That's what this track has become in this section. So many holes, so many bumps.
Great battle there again. Hunter Yoder not going away. All over the number 64. Whoa, the rear end of the Honda. Gets a little loose there. There comes Jonah Geisler now. He's got Kessler behind him. Jonah with probably his absolute all-time best ride at the ranch for sure. I just absolutely love these Red Bull drone shots. They give such perspective for sure. There's the big Jackson Gray ride there.
Coming through in 7th.
That's right. Stephen Hooker, now he gets past him. Garrett Hoffman is 9th. Bryce Joss Hansen rounds out your top 10. Otto Burton, one of the great boxers of the 30s.
Really? Otto
Van Burton.
Down the long short chute goes Kilroy. Gonzalez, man, they have been matching each other. This time around, 1/10 of a second quicker was Gonzalez. He's put in 3 great laps, and for all that, he's made up about 3/10 of a second on your leader, Kilroy. But it is so pivotal. If Gonzalez can win this and carry the 1-1, he won't have to beat Kilroy in Moto 2. If Kilroy holds on for the win, they will be tied
a lot of those going
into Moto 3.
Well, and here's the thing. We're only halfway through, so we know the lap traffic is going to come. The mistakes are going to go whenever you hop out of your normal race line. So lots of fun to still come. Preston Kilroy giving Myron Short some championship accolades here, potentially.
And Larry Brooks. I talked to Larry and Chris Wheeler from Suzuki quite a bit this morning. They're happy, definitely making some progress. Yeah, Kilroy and Dylan Schwartz running really strong in these B classes. And you know what I think actually means even more to them is to do it here in the limited class. It's basically the stock class. They've got a new 250. Yeah, they are trying to prove to the world that the Suzuki is just as good as any other 250F you can buy. So to go out there and win a moto in the limited class, which is stock, can't do any motor work, that's really big for them. So they're extremely happy with this performance, but can Kilroy bring it all the way home? Gonzalez on the Yamaha still digging.
Yeah, here comes Garrett Hoffman now. He trains down at Ricky Carmichael's place, and he is going heads up with Matt Walker's guy, Jackson Gray. So a couple of old rivals with training compounds now, sending their guys to battle it out.
Behind the billboards, you're watching Hunter Yoder trying to hang on to 4th. Chase Kessler, Jonah Geisler, 6th. Jackson Gray 7th, Hoffman, Hooker, and Hansen has moved up to 10th. No changes now, but it keeps getting closer. That time, Gonzalez made up more ground. He's got it down to 2.5 seconds on Kilroy.
Kessler gets Jonah Geisler. Hoffman gets Hooker and Gray.
How close does Gonzalez have to get before Kilroy can see him or hear him and starts feeling the pressure?
I think coming down to some of these 180s, he's right there.
So you're watching Miller on the 64 in 3rd. He's not been able to make up ground. He's 10 seconds back. So it's going to come down to Gonzalez in 2nd on the 93 Yamaha, trying to catch a leader, Preston Kilroy.
That was a good lap. A 153 flat for Gonzalez, a 154.3. So he is making some chunks up now. Lap riders now forcing Kilroy out of his race line and into uncharted territory. Gonzalez on the 93 Yamaha won that first moto. He wants to get up there and eliminate this tie. Give himself a cushion going in that 3rd and final moto. Big, soft, fluffy cushion, you know.
Yeah, it's good to have that. It's good to have bubble wrap around the championship points.
Yep.
Fragile must be Italian. Man, Kilroy keeps looking back.
He needs to
taking a peek over and over. He's got to hurry because Gonzalez is still coming, we think. Let's see the split now.
I think something happened. It's 4.5 seconds. That's why he was
went
looking
back.
I think he knew he was there, and now he's not there.
Gonzalez, 4, maybe even 5 laps, closed the gap, and all that work is for naught. He gives it all back in 1 lap. He lost almost 2 seconds to Kilroy, so it's right back where it started. 4.4 seconds. He had shaved that lead down. Gonzalez had got it down to 2.5. Now it's about 4.5. So Kilroy looking good now. Still plenty of time, though, with 5 minutes to go.
Kessler comes past us. Jonah Geisler. Garrett Hoffman continues to surge forward. He is up to 7th. Stephen Hooker is 8th. And this is a great little battle. There's 4 or 5 kids all racing each other with Jackson Gray, Bryce Hansen, Rene Rodriguez. They are all fighting for that coveted top 10 spot. That means something, man. Even just finishing top 10 here at Loretta Lynn's is a huge accomplishment.
Hey, our buddy Larry Whitmer, listening back up at Redbud. Larry, a champ out here in the past and one of the great announcers. Still awesome. Got to see him a couple of weeks ago. We had the Redbud National. Larry's listening in back home at Michigan. So shout out to Larry. Redbud! Redbud! Everybody loves Redbud. Kilroy, still watching that number 80, the RM Army. Trying to bring this one home and give us a tie going into the final moto. He's out of Wyoming, 17 years old, with the Bar X Motorsport Suzuki team. That's a relatively new squad to the amateur ranks. It's about 3rd year, 4th year for that operation.
Right. Kilroy doing something different there on the Bar X team. He's got his iPad on the handlebar. He's actually watching the broadcast, seeing if he needs to move over a different line. He can
good
see
idea.
himself.
Good idea. analyzing his own
Yeah,
style.
that's like Randy Moss. He said he could tell the coverage looking at the Jumbotron going down the screen, down the field, looking at the Jumbotron.
Okay,
so look at that. He can see the good lines now if he's watching.
Yep, watching.
Preston likes what he's hearing. He's got the headphones in. He's picking up our audio as well.
A little bit of a delay, so he's got to factor that in. It's probably a 1 or 2 second delay from our broadcast to the iPad on his handlebars. He had to pay for the Wi-Fi service.
It's $80
for the week. Worth it as a racer.
It's a risky move, though. Don't want to take your eyes off the racetrack. I don't suggest it, but it's just it's just the evolution of the sport.
Yep, downloading data the whole time.
Changing the mapping of the bike as the temperature goes up, the track changes.
Yep, doing it on the fly. Watching Max Miller in third. So Gonzalez just went to a 155.7. I think he gave it all he had, trying to inch up on Kilroy, but now the pace is slowed. So now Kilroy looking good with a 5.1 second lead. 2-lap card is out, or will be coming out, I think, after this last go-around.
Following along with Max Miller on the 64 machine as he exits the 10 Commandments.
Hey, we got a big flatbed trailer, a big Tex trailer with Georgia license plates parked by our work area. We need to have that moved. I think our workers would actually like to have it, so don't tempt them by leaving it there. Jeff Russell could find a good use for that flatbed trailer, so we want to let you keep it, but you have to move it. So we need that big Tex trailer from the work area moved. Has Georgia plates on it. We need Sage Taylor to the MX Sports office. Sage Lewis, sorry, to the MX Sports office. Sage Lewis to the MX Sports office, thank you. And we also need Jason Wygant to the podium for this event as our 250B Limited Moto is about to wrap up. Thank you, I will do that.
If you would please, Jason Wygant, report to the podium. It'd be great if you do that.
All right, I need me to announce myself.
Yep.
Then I need to do that.
Remind yourself to go down to the podium. Preston Kilroy 7 seconds out front here on this last lap. 9 laps into this bad boy. Mason Gonzalez, Max Miller, that is your podium. Miller has gotten Yoder. Chase Kessler is 5th. Jonah Geisler 6th. Garrett Hoffman, Rene Rodriguez, and Action Jackson Gray in the number 9 spot. Stephen Hooker rounds out your top 10. Heck of a ride for old Jackson Gray. He's had some injuries to deal with, and he is back in the mix. Got himself a top 10 rolling out right now. Kilroy working his way around the finish line, the big sweeper, the Thor sweeper before the finish line turn, and Preston Kilroy will get the white flag. So one more lap to go for the number 80 of Preston Kilroy. He's going to go 11 laps. I mean, these guys putting in the laps. Should see the white flag next time around. As the sun sets, one more moto, I believe, on the day before we shut her down. 65 10-11s poised to finish off racing here. Hope you guys like a nice, manly, rough racetrack. The 250V class, you can blame it on them. They have beat this thing up for you. You guys are all suited for it. That's what you train for. And on this white flag lap, And Jackson Gray holding on to that 9th place finish, trying to keep him inside that top 10. Stephen Hooker right there, 1.1 seconds behind him. There's a look at Preston Kilroy on this white flag lap. He's made it through all the trees, all the big, heavily rutted areas. It gets a little bit easier because we've got all the sand in this portion of the racetrack. There's a good shot of the crowd. Sun starting to cast those long shadows. Makes the ruts seem bigger and deeper and longer. And Preston Kilroy getting ready to bring out the checker flag. One more turn. Jonah Geisler with that great start. I believe he got the whole, no, he was second off the gate. And Preston Kilroy will be your winner. He finished second in the first moto. He's got a first now. Mason Gonzalez is going to go 1-2. We're all tied up again, so several motos going down just like that. Max Miller, Hunter Yoder going to take it down to the stripe. They are side by side. Yoder trying to swing it around, and Miller going to drag race him all the way, and Miller will finish up on that number 3 spot. He'll finish up on the podium just barely. Here's a look at your finish. Preston Kilroy, Gonzalez, and Miller 1, 2, 3. Hunter Yoder is 4th. Jace Kessler 5th. Jonah Geisler 6th. Garrett Hoffman is 7th. Renee Rodriguez 8th. Jackson Gray will finish up 9th. And Stephen Hooker should round out your top 10. These kids slugging it out all the way to the finish line, way back deep into the field.
We're going to get the hat and all the logos situated for our Moto winner, and that was clutch because the title is up for grabs here in 250B Limited. And it's a stock class. Suzuki ripped the whole shot. Let's hear it. Bell Helmet's whole shot award winner and gold medalist, Preston Kilroy. Well, you had to get that one. Gonzalez got that first Moto win, and he was behind you. He was dogging you for a while, man. It has to feel good to pull through and get it.
Yeah, you know, he was riding good. We were both just, he was pacing me, and I just found some last minute like charge there at the end and kind of pulled away. But yeah, he was riding good, so yeah.
Dude, late in the moto, how much is it just, I'm tired, I just got to dig deep? Is that a big factor?
Yeah, for sure. It's hot, it's humid, it's just, you got to push hard and get through it.
All right, who do you want to thank, Preston?
My mom, my dad, my sister, the whole Bark Suzuki team, WD-40, Chaparral, 100% Fly, CD, Hinson, Pirelli, DT1, just everyone, thank you.
There it is, a big moto win for Preston Kilroy. So he puts it up front and holds it all the way to the end, and we're looking at a showdown in Moto 3 between he and Mason Gonzalez. Let's bring Mason on up for a strong ride and second place finish. Let's bring up the number 93. There he is. Well, he made it interesting. He knew he had to make up about 4 seconds on Kilroy, and for about 5 laps, he was inching up, doing everything he could to get it. But in the end is going to have to take second, and this should be a great battle in Moto number 3 between these two for the title. Let's hear it from Mason Gonzalez. Man, you gave it everything you had to try to catch him. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, got off to a decent start. It was a little slick coming out of the gate, so I spun a little bit. Nothing to do with my tires. My Dunlop tires are working great. And the track's really rough, so yeah, it makes it difficult out there. He was riding really good, and yeah, kudos to him.
All right. What about Moto 3, man? That's going to be an exciting one. Winner take all.
Yeah, winner take all. Gonna try to do my best, get off to a good start, and yeah, ride like I know how to ride. Don't focus on anybody else but myself.
Cool. Who do you want to thank, Mason?
I want to thank Triangle Cycles, Yamaha, Blue Coup, Donnie Luce, FMF, MTF, Answer, 60 helmets, 100%, Dunlop, Pro Taper, my agent, my dad, and everybody else I forgot. Thank you.
Mason Gonzalez, second place. And we have a bronze medal for Max Miller if he wants to come on up. Let's get Max Miller. Looking for Max Miller. Got a sight lap underway. Hey, it's 6:30. That's going to be our last moto that just took off. Where's Max Miller? Somebody help me get, there we go. Was a good ride through some traffic. Had to make some passes to get there. But he gets it done. Let's hear it for third place, Max Miller. You had to do some work to get that third, man, making passes.
Yes, sir. It wasn't as easy as my moto this morning with the hole shot, but I just had to put my head down. I knew I had to stay loose and just try to make efficient passes, and Hunter was right in front of me actually on the first lap. First corner, I was eating his roost, so we went through the pack together, which was pretty cool. We do a lot of riding together in SoCal, so it was fun battling with my buddy the whole moto. But once I got to the front, or closer to the front, my mechanic Dave was writing on the pit board what position and just keeping me motivated to keep pushing forward.
Awesome. Who do you want to thank, Max?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my awesome mechanic Dave, both my trainers, Nathan Ransby and Randy Lawrence, the whole KTM Orange Brigade team, CD Boots, Bell Helmets, Scott Goggles, Liette, Seven, Twisted Development Motors, Dunlop Tires, Pro Taper, Factory Connection Suspension, Ethica, anybody else I might have forgot, thank you.
Good job. All right, let's hear it for Max Miller. Oh, you got one more?
FMF. Even though I didn't get to use my FMF power today in the stock class, but those pipes rip. I would have loved to have it.
Hey, good. Well said. Let's hear it for Max Miller taking the bronze in 250B Limited. Yes, with a stock pipe. Everybody's got a stock pipe in this class. That'll do it. One more moto for the day. I'm going to send